everybody, I'm High Priestess Autumn Phoenix. Tonight is a very special broadcast. I am giving 4 people free tarot card reading in regards to love. I do not give tarot readings for free. But these 4 people, I feel in my spirit, they need help with their romantic lives. My neighbors are currently having an argument outside my window. So if you hear, yelling and screaming, that's my neighbors screaming and yelling and carrying on. So anyway, let me tell you where you can find me on social media. You can follow me on my Facebook page at Magically Blessed, on my Instagram page at Autumn_Phoenix1, on Twitter at Priestess Autumn, on YouTube at Autumn Phoenix, on Periscope at Autumn Phoenix. So these 4 people that I have readings for. I feel strongly that these people are having conflict in their relationships and they need help now. So I'm taking time out of my evening to do this for these 4 people who need to hear this word on this broadcast. This broadcast is going to be real and raw. So if you're sensitive, you might want to grab a box of tissues, because if you've been following me for any length of time, I keep it all the way real. I do not hold back. Remember, I am a Scorpio. So, we always going to tell you the truth. And as witches, we must always be honest. So the first card that I drew, and I believe that this is for a man. I believe that this card that I drew right now, the first one, is for a man. The card is the Ace of Swords in the upright position. What I'm getting is you are ready to start something new with a new person. If you are in a committed relationship already, if you're married or have a girlfriend or boyfriend, a side bitch, whatever you call your relationship, this card can indicate that there is something about this relationship that you will choose to put a stop to. Something in this relationship is rotten at its core and you're just tired of ignoring it. Something about the relationship is rotten. If this card is for you, I believe, like I said, that this card is for a man. Something about your relationship is rotten. Now, I know people say, oh, of course, everybody has problems, but no. This relationship is rotten. You have to speak your mind. You can't allow that woman to continue to walk all over you like so much garbage. You might be too nice to people. You might be too generous to people because you're a gentleman. If something in the relationship is bad and hurtful, and you lose your partner because you have spoken to them about the problem, you know what? It's not really your loss. It's not your loss. That's a person that was only meant to be with you for a season. And the season lasts, 3 months? What's actually happening is that you are being guided toward a relationship that is better for you. So you have to be honest. Like I said, this is for a man. And the relationship that you are currently in is rotten. You're being walked all over. And you might come off to other people as somebody that is easy to take advantage of. But like all people, you have a limit. and eventually you're going to push back. Might even push back so far that the other person feels like they are being pushed into traffic. I told you this broadcast was going to be raw and unfiltered, and I'm going to keep it real with you. It's best to let that person go. It's best to let that woman go. It's not your loss. That woman lost a godly man. A man that's actually worthy of being worshipped as a god. This card is for a man who has it going on. You know, he has a big dick. He brings in good income. He would in the future make a good father. This man is very generous. He'll give you the shirt off of his back. He'll give away all of his possessions to other people. He loves helping people, genuinely helping people to the point of not expecting something in return. Helping people not because he wants to get recognition or praise or wants to be put on a pedestal. He's already on a pedestal because of his generosity. But the relationship that this man is currently in is rotten. And you need to let that bitch go. Okay, come on. You know she's a bitch. You know that she's trifling. You know that your mama and your daddy don't like her. The second card for the second person is the Three of Swords reversed. That's not a good card to pull. When this card is reversed, is negative. When the card is upright, it's a possibility that these swords could be pulled out and the heart over time will heal. This card, I believe, is for a woman. And let me tell you something. All four of these people that I'm giving these readings for, they have followed me. I know for a fact, I just know in my spirit that these people have followed me on social media for years. Just want to put that out there. When this card appears reverse, it means misunderstandings, sadness, and sorrow. Things are just bad. A relationship that this person is currently in, that this woman is currently in, has just come to an end, or a relationship that you may have thought would come together is not going to come together, and there is no more hope. Don't blame yourself. You know, you will find somebody better, but this card, this woman, I feel like it's maybe the side piece. And the man is already currently in a relationship. I believe that he is engaged. I believe that his wedding is this summer. And this side piece, this side woman is hoping and casting love spells to change the direction of that man's heart to her. And it is having an effect, but the relationship is not meant to be. And the goddess, if you follow witchcraft to a T, if you follow Wicca to a T, the god and the goddess is trying to protect you from yourself. But if you insist, though, because the god and goddess would not just try to storm you to stop you, if you insist on getting this man to commit to you and not to his fiance, do enough of the spell, concentrate harder on the spell, spend more time on the spell, and it will work. But then it's not witchcraft anymore. It's manipulation. And you should never do a love spell on somebody to make them stay with you. Because what happens if that love spell breaks and that man finds out about it? He's going to be pissed off. And you're going to have to explain yourself. How do you explain that? How do you explain to a man that you've been doing spells on him to make him choose you? Or to make him stay in your bed? Or to make him keep eating your pussy? How do you explain that? There's no explanation for that. So that relationship, you being a side piece, has to end. And if it doesn't, you'll find yourself like so many other witches in this vicious cycle of casting love spells and then going off to cast binding spells to bind that man to you. You can't bind another person to you. You can't enslave another person. That's what it really means when somebody says, oh, I bind this person to me. You're making that person your slave. And that person does not really love you. They only love you because they're under a spell. And like I said, spells are not permanent. And remember, when it comes to love, real feelings are involved. And you should never play with somebody's emotion, especially if that person happens to be a Scorpio like I am. Don't do that to Scorpio. They will tear you a new asshole. So make sure that this person, I don't know this person's zodiac sign, but make sure that man is not a Scorpio. Because if he is, you're in danger, baby. So take that into consideration if he is, if he's not. Because you know, if anybody here studies astrology, you know that Scorpios have the absolute worst temper out of the entire zodiac. And can you imagine how they will feel if they find out that their feelings have been messed with? It's going to be the sorriest day of your life. Because Scorpios do not just open up to anybody. So this relationship has misunderstandings, shit taken out of, context, suspicions of cheating. Suspicion of cheating when you're not actually in a relationship with this guy, you're just a side piece. So you're not allowed to have suspicion of cheating when you're just a side piece. You don't want to be a booty call. You don't want to be a piece of ass. So the relationship is over. The relationship is not going to go anywhere. Those type of relationships never do. I'm not trying to say that you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You're not a hoe, but you are a side piece. You're just a piece of ass. And stop blaming yourself for wasting your time with this man. You still have many years ahead of you, and you will find somebody else. I told you this broadcast was going to be raw and real and unfiltered and nothing held back. The next card, I believe that this is for a man, is the Devil card. This card right here. A lot of people are afraid of this card, just like they are of the Death card. But this card appears upright for this individual. This card represents passionate sex, but there may not be a whole lot of affection. You know, it might just be a quick roll in the hay. Your lover or even you might try to dominate the relationship, so the relationship might be abusive. You know, fist fights, cursing each other out. Your partner or yourself might be competing with one another. The relationship is usually unstable. The relationship is usually superficial, and it is full of conflict. Now, let me tell you something very specific about this card. When I say that this card also has competition between the two partners, one of the partners might not be straight. One of the partners might actually be gay. One of you might be gay. Competitive in the type of clothes you wear. The person who's gay in a relationship might be competitive about what type of makeup the other person should be wearing. You know, they might be saying these things like, oh, that's not your shade. Oh, that lipstick does not fit your lips. And yet, the gay person in that relationship is wearing your lipstick when you're not at the house. They're dressing in women's clothes. I'm sorry I have to say that out loud, but it is true. You have suspicions that your partner might be gay or bisexual. And you might be the person that's trying to control the relationship. Like, stop acting like that. You might say things like, stop acting like that. Stop talking like that. Stop dressing like that. Why are you saying that to me? Why are you acting like that towards me? There is a lot of sex that happens in your relationship, but there's no romance. You're just fucking. So you might not out loud say, oh, that's my girlfriend, or that's my boyfriend. I'm not talking about a married couple. I'm talking about girlfriend and boyfriend, but they're not really girlfriend and boyfriend. This might very well be a open relationship where the partners can be together, but, you know, sleep around with other people. Sleep around with other people for one of the partners does mean having a lover of the same sex. And you don't like that. Not that you have a problem with homosexuality. You just have a problem with another man's mouth on your man's dick. You don't like that because you feel like, of course, as a you feel like, oh, this person should only be with me in that way. But it's an open relationship, so you don't really have a whole lot of say in this. So, do you want to continue this type of relationship? Are you going to accept being what is it called, a swinger? Or just having, I believe it's just called having an open relationship? You have to make a decision of what kind of relationship this is. What do you call yourselves? Just call yourselves people? You know, friends with benefits. And let me tell you something right now. Friends with benefits never works out. I've been there before in that type of relationship. They never work out. You can't be friends and sleeping together too. So get that out your system. Those relationships never work. So make a decision in regards to this card here, where you want to lay at night. Would you rather lay alone at night, or would you rather lay in bed with somebody who is all over the place? All over the place with everybody. My last card is the Three of Wands in the upright position. My last card, because I had 4. The last card is the 3 of Wands. Hi. Your romantic relationships, when it comes to this card, your romantic relationships are likely going to be going pretty good. But only if your partner, I feel like this card is for a woman. So let me start over. I feel like this card is for a woman, the 3 of Wands. Your romantic relationship, I feel strongly, is going well. Everything is cool in the game. But only if your partner is willing to treat you like an equal. So if your partner is treating you like a piece of shit, cut him off. I believe that this card is for a straight woman. If your man is not treating you like an equal, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. After you have made your complaints and positions clear, and he still don't want to treat you like an equal, it's time to move on. If you have recently met somebody, know that you are being held in very high regard by this new person. This new person actually gives a damn about you. This new person actually wants to build a life with you. This person actually wants to be a father to your child or future child if you have never been pregnant before. I don't believe you have ever been pregnant before. If you are at the very moment on the market to receive love, to be in a romantic relationship, but you might feel as though you don't have any prospects, you are probably currently spending too much time and too much effort on your career. You're working too much to find a man. If you just got out of a relationship, you're working too hard, you're taking on too many hours to find a man. No man wants a woman who's always at work, especially if that job has more men than women. That man will always be thinking at the back of his mind that you are cheating on him because you're a good-looking woman. So think about allowing more time for your personal life. Give yourself time to go on, if you want to, blind dates. You know how they have those dates that you spend like 5 minutes talking to a person and you move on to the next table? What is that called? I forgot what that's called. I used to do that though. Go out with your co-worker for coffee or lunch or dinner or whatever. Just get back out there. Don't forget about your romantic life though. Yes, speed dating. That's what it is. Thank you. Speed dating, yeah. So do think about your personal life. All women love sex. Lots of sex. Especially if she's a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. So, get out there. Just because, let me tell you something. You don't have to spend your whole life looking for Mr. Right. Sometimes you can just look for Mr. Right now. You decide when you're going to have sex. But don't spend so much time at work that you don't have time to go find Mr. Right now. You don't have to search for the man in your life right now, regardless of how old you are. I don't care if you're 45 years old on this broadcast. You can still get down and dirty. I don't care. Age is nothing. As long as they're two adults, like actual adults over 18 and older. You know what I'm saying? So don't take on so much hours. Don't keep asking for overtime at work. That overtime can be spent going out on a date. Even if it's, a group date. What's the problem? Mr. Right is not going to break into your house. Okay? Unless he's like trying to kill you. You have to actually leave the house to find a boyfriend or a husband, or a husband that will eventually become the father of your child. And you have to take your time. And there's no shame with sleeping with somebody on the first date. Just because you sleep with somebody on the first date does not make you a whore or a player or a playboy or a prostitute or a slut. I said it just a few minutes ago. You don't have to find Mr. Right right now. You can just find Mr. Right just for tonight. So this card for this woman indicates that you're spending way too much time at work turning down dates from guys that actually give a damn about you, that's just not interested in getting pussy or getting their dick sucked off. They actually want to get to know you. They want to check if you're mother material, if you're somebody they would want to have kids themselves. Now, if you're a crazy bitch, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to find a man and to keep a man and to marry a man. You don't want to become a great ex-wife. Doing a nasty divorce. So take time out for yourself. Pamper yourself. Really get jazzed up. Really get sexy. And go find somebody after this relationship that you may have just gotten out of. This relationship in which this man has not treated you like an equal. Because there are still good men out there. Now, if you are bisexual, if I'm wrong and you happen to be bisexual, that means that you can fall in love with either sex. There are other people out there that are okay with bisexuality. Just choose who you want to be with, either for tonight or for the rest of your life. That's all. So that is my tarot reading for 4 people who I felt needed to hear what I said tonight. I told you all, let me say it again, that it was going to be real and raw and unfiltered. So I am going to leave this up for the broadcast, and I'm also going to upload it onto my YouTube channel at Awesome Phoenix, and on my Facebook page at Magically Blessed. So I will be speaking to you guys shortly, and thank you for joining me on this broadcast. Bye, everybody. Bye.